Rights Day has been commemorated in Accra with a call for improvements in press freedom and the protection of the rights of the poor, vulnerable and marginalized in the country. Promotion of freedom of speech, they said, would among others improve the nation's rankings on the Press Freedom Index. The advocates included the Commissioner of the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, Joseph Whitehall, and the UN Resident Coordinator, among others. This year's edition marked the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, a landmark document that sets out, for the first time, fundamental human rights to be universally protected. As part of activities to mark the day, the SHRAJ, with support from the UN, organized a roundtable discussion in Accra that was attended by key stakeholders and human rights advocates to assess the country's human rights record and make projections for the future. More room for improvement, Mr. Whitehall said the country had made some remarkable gains in human rights protection and promotion, yet there remains significant room for improvement. He said much is needed to be done to protect the rights of the poor, the vulnerable and marginalized, including women and children, older persons, persons living with and affected by HIV/TB, and persons with disability.
But that has come rather after we've done all the work. And the work has been done, and all the president needed to do was to assent to the bill. So this idea of we want to resubmit the bill, so that the bill will be submitted in the name of the government instead of a private member's bill. That is the only issue now. It's not about anything inside the bill. It's not about the content of the bill. It's not about any provision in the bill that the president has issued is sponsored as a private member's bill. And he also we think that the president feels like there are aspects of the bill, when it's implemented, it will attract some cost on the state. And therefore, it shouldn't be a private member's bill, but it should be a government-sponsored bill instead. These are some of the issues that we think is concerned.
My source from the Universal Review report 2022. Ghana came up very well recommended in terms of what Ghana has done in promoting and protecting human rights at the Human Rights Council. But the peers of Ghana have also indicated to Ghana areas of concern that they think Ghana should work on. And some of those areas are part of what we have discussed today. Our press freedom has not been good. And so recommendations as to what Ghana should do to bring down, to ensure greater press freedom and media freedom is something Ghana has to work on. For women and children, discrimination against women on the basis of custom and tradition is something Ghana's peers have also recommended that Ghana should work on. Ghana should work on in respect of particularly the bill, the anti-witchcraft bill, which they commended Ghana for having put across a bill. At the time we went for the Universal Periodic Review, we haven't yet, Parliament had not yet passed it. But our concern now is what the President has indicated, that he has constitutional concerns about the bill. But he has no problem with the content of the bill. Our problem as a Commission is, can the President speed up whatever he will do to bring that bill back to Parliament? Whether it's through the Attorney General, howsoever it will be done, the women cannot afford any further delay. So that is very, very important. And it's not just the Commission. This is also something Ghana has gone to tout itself at the Human Rights Council. So we must walk our talk. Even though I'm not faulting the President, if there are constitutional issues, it will be wrong to pass a bill and only have it set aside. So the right thing must be done. But speed is of the essence. I wouldn't say trigger. I would take the president on his own word. He said he will repackage it and in his name bring it back to Parliament. That means the Attorney General will now be the one to introduce the bill. He has no problem with the content. It means we are not going to have a problem with the content. So it's procedure. What I would expect then is send a signal, what we call an advisory to the president, that we cannot wait. We are supposed to be in the implementation stage of discrimination against women, particularly of the kind captured in the witchcraft bill. And so for us to be doing toing and froing, it doesn't speak well of us as a country. So that is, and even through you, this is a medium for the president to know what the position of the commission is. Then on the issues of children, quite a number of cyber-related issues that need to be addressed. We have a number of bills, conventions that Ghana has to actually ratify, and some legislation that is supposed to be presently put before Parliament. And I hope they will do so before Parliament rises at the end, that is for the 2024 elections. So that is something I am looking forward to. As a human right for children, there are concerns that Ghana has to address. Which other area? The view of Shrike has been captured by in our memorandum to Parliament, and it's on the net. We have raised very pertinent concerns of the constitutionality of some of the provisions and clauses of the bill. I see from the beginning of the discussions on the consideration stage that our concerns, some of them are even beginning to be addressed. But the key ones that relate to freedom of expression, the right not to sympathize with any person who professes that type of orientation, and some institutions having to undertake some education on the bill when it becomes law, we think it's quite problematic. Because you can't ask the church, which is supposed to promote and protect the rights of all persons, to particularly indicate or advocate or train or educate people only on aspects of the provisions of that bill. You can't do that. Two, you can't ask the courts to give their judgment in a certain direction. But I think all these things will be addressed. Fortunately, the Commission is in good standing with some of the provisions which the Attorney General also provided to Parliament. And Parliament seems to be agreeable to those amendments. I hope as the consideration stage goes on, we will see our concerns being addressed.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.